My lords, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back after quite an extended break to Rimworld and the Call of Cthulu series. Now, to explain the absence, first of all we had Christmas and the New Year period, which with 4 young children is always a very busy time, as I'm sure you can appreciate. Then during that festive period I managed to contrive to contract coronavirus, which left me feeling rather ill for about a week. Thankfully it never manifested as anything worse than a heavy cold, but being rather bunged up and a very sore throat left me in no real fit state to do any recording, so that accounts for that. And then, to top it all off, when I was finally feeling better and I returned to work, I've returned to one of the biggest dramas, shall we say, possible. And just as a bit of background, and I obviously do not want this to become political, I respect all political beliefs and believe everybody's political beliefs should be respected and discussed cordially. So that being said, I am the representative for the trade union at work, and obviously as you can imagine that keeps me fairly busy and I have a lot of issues to deal with. And as I said, I've returned to work on Tuesday. That would be the 4th, I think it was, or the 5th, and I returned to the biggest drama pretty much possible, and that is going to eat up a lot of time, or well, more time than I would like, shall we say. Thankfully I think we are over the initial hump, if you will, but it's still going to be demanding quite a bit of my attention for the foreseeable future. Hopefully that shouldn't have too much of a detrimental impact on recording schedules and the likes, but just in case, that is the explanation as to why there may be lapses every now and then in the routine upload schedule. I will do my best to keep you informed if I foresee any sort of long delay between episodes, of course, but for now all I can do is offer my sincere apologies and trust that you will bear with me, and I will do my very best to keep some steady content coming out for you guys. Okay, so with all that being said, obviously over the Christmas period the channel hit and then exceeded by a fairly comfortable margin the rather impressive goal or milestone of 500 subscribers. So I want to first of all thank you all for your support. It is very much appreciated, and it's nice to know that there's a decent few of you out there who seem to enjoy the videos, whether they be the Transport Fever 2 videos or indeed these Rimworld videos, or maybe both, who knows. Now, to celebrate the 500 subscriber milestone, and this was something I had planned to do in and around the Christmas time, but obviously things got in the way. Yes, to celebrate that, what I would like to do is to give away 1 copy of this game, Rimworld, plus the 2 DLCs as well, to 1 lucky viewer. Now, if you'd like to enter the prize draw, all you have to do is leave a comment down below expressing your interest in being considered and, you know, putting yourself forward for the prize draw. And then what we'll do in about a week's time is I will pick 1 random lucky commenter to receive a copy of Rimworld and the DLC. So go ahead, get down there and let me know if you'd like to enter the draw. Okay then, so for now we can turn our attention to the game itself, and we've picked up where we left off last time around. Now it's been obviously quite a while since I last played, so it might take me a couple of moments to remember what's going on and to get back up to speed, but I'm sure it won't take us too long to get familiar once again. So what's the current state of affairs? Gabe is cooking, Q is relaxing, Amy is attempting to to recruit Born to the colony, and Amy, no, we just talked about you. Izzy, what are you doing? You're eating. Well, that's fine. So last time we were working on getting some plumbing set up. We haven't done much more of that yet because I noticed we had a rather alarming shortage of food. So I had to interrupt Q's construction tasks over here and send her off on a hunt to get some elk to be butchered up to be turned into meals, which we can see Gabe is doing right now. So obviously survival takes priority over being able to have a nice wash. You know, if you can't wash, it's not great, but if you can't eat, it's quite a bit worse. So, yes, we had to prioritise our tasks there, but we seem to be on top of it now. So for today, I'd like to get this battery finished off here. I'd like to get this plumbing all finished off as well. And I would like to swap out this, not the elk meat, the campfire there, for a electric stove, which is going to be a lot more efficient. And I'd also like to set up a heating system using an electric boiler, and that means we can stop having to worry about gathering wood to refuel these campfires to keep our colonists nice and warm. Obviously we do have a heater over here in our prison cell stroke occult research centre, and we will swap that out for a radiator once we get the central heating set up. Of course, HP Lovecraft, our storyteller, may have something to say about our plans, so we're going to have to remain flexible as always out here on the Rimworld, and we're going to have to see what events he's going to throw our way to deal with. But I have a rough plan in mind. Obviously previously we had set up our little, I hesitate to call it a church, I suppose it's more of a, it's a cave, let's be honest, it's just a cave. But it's the start of our church anyway, and that is now where our colonists will go to worship our chosen deity, which I believe was Shub-Nagurath. I believe that's who we're worshipping. Yes, well remembered me. So let's crack on and let's see what lies in store today. So it looks like Izzy has almost finished the tentacled blue fur cultist vestments that we'd started in the last episode, and indeed that tailoring order has now been completed. So what we can do is we can actually force Izzy to wear those vestments. That's going to help his mood. Obviously that is part of his required apparel as per his religious status, so that's going to keep him happy. And as we can see, we're gathering for our morning sermon. I guess Q was out hunting, so it might take her a while to get back here. Here she comes now. What do we have here? A quest. Ekaterina? Take your pick. Kat Kazak, Arctic leader of Southeast Ardibarium, is requesting a favour. Her friend Shigeru Lindsay is interested in learning about cultures, and she wishes us to host him at Innsmouth for 22 days. They will not do any work. We could get goodwill with the faction, or we could get a ranged shield belt and some gold, or 21 units of Glitterworld medicine. I don't think we're really in a position to be hosting anybody for that length of time, so I'm going to dismiss the quest for now, and we'll probably just let that expire in the background. That's the morning sermon completed, so everybody's now going to go about their daily business. Q is having a little wash. Looks like the plumbing is almost finished here by Amy, as we can see. There we go, and that should now start. Yep, that has started to fill our water tower with water. So in the near future, what we can do is pump in some, well, not pump in, we can lay in some heating pipes and a boiler, and then we can start placing some radiators throughout the various buildings that we've constructed to keep our colonists comfortable and warm. And as I said at the start of the episode, that's going to cut down on the amount of wood that we're needing to sustain ourselves. However, one of the things I'd like to get constructed first of all is a stove. So let's go ahead and do that. So we want production, and we want electric stove, 80 steel and 2 components. Okay. So we only have 22 steel in reserve, but I do believe we have a large steel vein down here. Indeed we do. Who do we have set to mine? It's Q. Well, I think we'll go ahead and also include Gabe and Izzy, but we'll keep it at level 2 priority because they don't really have the skill set required, but it's better than not having any steel at all, of course. There's more steel over here should we need it, but I think that vein down there is going to keep us well stocked for the foreseeable future. Bourne's resistance is now down to 1.8, so maybe another 2 to 3 attempts should see him willing to join the colony, which would be fantastic. It would give us an extra pair of hands, and it would also give us a... Is he a blood mage? Dark mage? I can't remember. He's a death knight. Close enough. The only problem is obviously this greedy trait, so if he didn't have an impressive bedroom, he's going to get quite annoyed, so we'd have to keep an eye on that. And we've got a stray cat on the map, but that's nothing to concern ourselves with, I shouldn't think. I've just noticed we have a mega sloth on the map as well, so I am going to set that to be hunted, and we may as well flag the elk and the 2 rams as well. We can never have enough meat and levers, of course. As we can see, our fires are now dying away, so the temperature is going to start to become a problem if we don't get this heating situation set up pretty quickly. And after that attempt to recruit Bourne, Q is now going to go ahead and do some mining to get the steel so we can construct the stove that we need. We're also going to need the steel, of course, to construct ourselves a boiler. And if we want to make this steel, the heating pipes out of steel, then we're going to need steel for that. Although we could use another material such as bone, since we have quite a large amount of bone on hand. Okay, so Q has angered the Mega Sloth during the hunt. Let's just keep an eye on this and make sure she's not in too much danger here. Okay, not really a problem there. As we can see at the moment, we don't have a research project, but that's not a great concern at the moment. We can go a couple more days without unlocking further research. What I'd like to do is try and get all this completed ASAP first of all. So to that end, as we can see, Gabe and Izzy are working together to mine out the steel ore vein that we flagged up a while ago. Izzy's actually in quite a bad mood here. What can we do to help that? Okay, you're being rebuffed by Amy, sleeping in the cold, darkness, unsightly environment, hungry and awful barrack. Well, the hungry one we can take care of. In fact, no, we cannot, because we have no means to cook at the moment, although we do have some meals on hand. How much steel do we have now? 152. Okay, so we can now construct the electric stove we were talking about. And we'll go ahead and we'll put that. Ideally, we want to put that in its own room eventually, but for now, having it there will suffice. And then we can deconstruct that campfire there. Yes, we were using it for heat as well as obviously cooking, but hopefully in the not too distant future we're going to have a boiler set up so we can have hot water and radiators supplement our heat, and we can just forget about the campfires. So we're going to have Q forced to work on this stove to get it done as quickly as possible. We do have 6 meals, so we're good for the time being, but the sooner we can get it set up, the better we're going to be, of course. And then once we've done the stove, it's time to get the boiler set up. But first of all, we need to set up the meal preparation bill, and we'll just go for simple meals for the time being. And we'll do, shall we say, 3 per colonist. That would be 12 total. Pause when satisfied. Yes, you can take them to the best stockpile, simply because if they're just dumped on the floor, they won't be counted in this little check here. We do want to use human meat, of course, and we'll have this work bill unpaused when we hit 4. There we go. So with that taken care of, now we can start thinking about the heating. So if we go into temperature, we can see here electric boiler. This requires 80 steel and 3 components. We have 5 components and 72 steel, so we're pretty much there in terms of resources. A little bit more steel, of course. And as we can now see, Bourne's resistance has been broken by Amy, so we should now be able to recruit him into the colony during the next interaction. Q, what are you? You're sleeping. Okay, I suppose you had a late night. Izzy, how are you? You should be fine once you eat. And there you go, you've now eaten. Your mood is rising, which is fantastic. So our meat supplies are looking very healthy once again. 332 units of mega sloth meat, 283 units of elk meat, and 83 ibex meat. That's on top of the 12 meals that we already have prepared, of course. And Bourne has joined the colony. Fantastic. So let's set this for colonists, and temporarily Bourne, your room is going to be in here. There we go. So what we can do now is set up his work schedule. Firefighting and patient priority 1 as always, along with Hall Plus. And then handling level 4. Okay, you can do number 3 there. Construction level 3, we'll go for 4. Smithing high priority, we'll say number 2. Tailoring number 1. Crafting number 1. Artistic number 2. Research number 2. Cleaning number 2. Hauling number 2 as well. Yep, I think that will do quite nicely. So there we go, Bourne has now joined our ranks. The first thing he's going to do, of course, is swap out his tattered clothing for something a little bit better, because as we can see at the moment, he's having a... oh god. That's not going to do him much good at all. What do you need to replace here? Okay, so it's your hat. Well, we could ask you to drop that. In fact, did we ever set up this? Let's have a look. Current outfit, Bourne, edit. No, okay, anything is still unchanged. So what we'll do is we'll set this so that it only wears stuff that is 50% hit points or greater, and we will not allow tainted apparel. There we go, so Bourne should now start to remove his tainted apparel and anything that is below 50%. So Q is returning with the last ibex ram that we asked to be hunted, so that's all taken care of. So what we're going to have her do now is construct this this boiler here, and then we can start work on the heating situation. Amy's gotten food poisoning, which is unfortunate, but it isn't the end of the world. Okay, so temperature. So what we need to do is we need some radiators throughout our base. So we'll have a radiator there, and probably there as well. And then we want a radiator in each room. We'll keep that heater for now. And then we need to connect all these with some heating pipes, of course. And we shall use bone for this. Izzy is having a food binge, which is unfortunate. There we go, so that's the rough outline for the heating. The last thing we want to do is actually get the water over here. So let's go to hygiene, plumbing, bone plumbing, and do that. There we go. Just setting up a work order here to make some pants and a button-down shirt for Bourne. At the moment, all he has is this blue fur pelt coat, and we obviously need to give him a little bit more than that, so he will take care of that as our designated tailor. Obviously that suits his high skill in crafting, so all good. Everybody is coming down with the old food poisoning, thank you. That's not great, but yeah. That's going to slow things down for the next few days. And we have another quest, the deserter. So we'd get Eloper. Can't see anything about her, and I'd rather not take the chance, so let's just disregard that quest. So we've got a elk has gone manhunter. So we're going to have to get Q out here. And in fact, we could probably use Born as well because of his Death Knight abilities. So let's see here. Okay, so that's not done much. Where is Q? If she could come a little bit faster, that would be great. So we haven't got enough. Well, fantastic, Q. Not only do you arrive to the party late, you then also go ahead and shoot Gabe. Anyway, there we go. Problem solved. Right, who's our best medic? I'm guessing it is Izzy, so rescue Gabe. Well, first of all, we'll stabilise him. Oh, he's not bleeding out with the looks of it, so that's the main thing. Alright, so I take it back. Q didn't shoot Gabe. It was just the build-up of attacks from the elk that caused him to go down. I thought she'd shot him when she arrived. Obviously not. I feel I owe Q an apology. Oh god, now we've got an infection that's in the torso, so amputation will probably not be an option for this. Let's just take a moment here. And Q, the first thing I want you to do is preach health to Gabe. That's going to give him a nice boost. There we go. And then Izzy, you are infected with what exactly? Oh, you're the one who has the infection, not Gabe. I thought Gabe had the infection. Well, that was a waste of practice health. What an idiot. Okay, so from a bruise, you've got infected. So hopefully we're not going to lose Izzy here. But yes, that was an awkward waste of the preach health, wasn't it? Okay, so I think the immunity is catching up and will eventually outpace the rising infection rates. Okay, is that everything connected up? I think it is. Okay, so what we got here? So connected demand is 200 units and we have a capacity of 250. We can increase the boiler power, which obviously increases its power draw, but it does increase the amount of thermal heating units it produces. Now I imagine once all the radiators are completed, we are going to start exceeding our current output. There we go, it's already started to look 300 and we can only produce 250, so we're going to need to increase our boiler power. Increase it by 1 tick, that sends us to 500, but also increases the power need to 500. Let's have a look here. Gabe proposed to Q and Q has rejected and they have now broken up. Well, brilliant. Izzy, how are you doing? You need, oh god, how long has that been able to be tended? Hopefully not too long. And it's a quality of 0, which is not going to go down well at all. And we're only a quarter of the way to recharging our preach health ability. So you can be tended in 2 hours, but I think you're going to get immunity just before, and this is going to be one of the closest run infections I've ever had. Thank God for that. Jesus, I nearly dropped the ball on that one in a big way. Gabe is wandering in a daze, so can we have, who's our best socializer? It is Q, I believe, yes. Q, can you attempt to calm down Gabe? No good. Never mind. Ooh. A large meteorite of compacted machinery is pretty much perfect, so we'll get that mined out pretty soon. We still have 5 components, which is enough for a few more items, but when we do need more, we have plenty. Thank you very much, Mr. Lovecraft. That was a very nice event. I suppose it makes up for the infection that I almost botched. How's that doing? 40%, and it's on its way down, of course, so Izzy should be back with us probably in the next few days. Gabe is still in his daze. Amy failed to calm him down. Well worth the effort, but sadly no joy. Born, you should now have... Nope. Oh, and a psychic soothe. It just gets better and better. I'm not sure where the trousers went that you created. Oh, they're there, but they're... Oh no, they're tattered. Okay, somebody else must have taken the trousers, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and have another pair crafted, shall we? What's this? Cold snap for pay. Should we go for that? I don't think that's going to cause us too many concerns. And the revolver would be quite nice. We'll go for the revolver because being able to defend ourselves is a lot more important right now, I think. Here comes the cold snap. Obviously we're not growing any crops at the moment, so I don't need to worry about that. Here's the revolver. Please drop a little bit further away next time. Now, as you can see, I've started work on another room here. This is going to be a little bit of a communal bathroom sort of thing. So to that end, what we're going to need is a few doors to act as stall barriers. And we also want a disposal point for the plumbing as well, which we'll have run down here. And then what we're going to do is over here is, where is the outlet? There it is. Just dump it right there. And then we can put some toilets in here. And it won't be the best, but we could also then put some showers as well. Like that, and hopefully they can still get to the toilet to use it, but we shall find out. So we're going to need some hot water down here as well. So temperature, heating pipe made of bone, like that and like that and like that, all connected together. And that of course needs to be connected to our existing heating piping. Let's go ahead and put some lights down in here, shall we, so they don't have to bathe in the darkness. And we're going to need a power conduit running out here. So Gabe is back to full fitness now, which is good to see. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, with the construction of our bathroom now completed, I do believe we're going to end today's episode right here. I'd just like to repeat what I said at the start of the episode, which is to thank you all for your support as this channel continues to grow. It does mean a heck of a lot to know that some people out there are enjoying what I do. And as I said, as a thank you, one lucky viewer is going to win themselves a copy of Rimworld and the 2 DLC, that's Ideology and Royalty of course. And just to reaffirm that, if you'd like to be considered and entered into the prize draw, obviously it will be picked at random, then just go ahead and leave a comment down below telling me that you'd like to be entered into that draw. For now, all that remains for me to say is, as always, ladies and gentlemen, you take very good care of yourselves. It's ta-ta for now.